Welcome to the World of Sport TV. I'm Bazati's NUFC on this transfer special update. A little bit rushed tonight. I've decided I'm going back home tomorrow to my best mate's wedding to be the best man. So I've been trying on a suit and I realised what time it was. And I was like, oh my God, I better get moving. So we've got a great show lined up for you. 7 players to discuss. I've got Billy in the background waiting to come on. So this is Bazati's NUFC. Good evening, Billy. How are we going?
Oh, I'm a bit rough around the edges, but apart from that, I'm okay.
Love it. We've obviously got a bit of a special episode tonight, something a little bit different. We're talking about transfers.
All right.
We've got 7 players to go through. Why isn't this working properly? 7 players to discuss.
Right.
Do you have any idea who we might be discussing, first of all?
No, it's going to be a surprise for me. A nice Boxing Day surprise.
Hey, you should have got one of them because I told you them. I tweeted it out.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make it more suspenseful.
Fair enough. Good evening, Dean.
Good morning, Dean, in New Zealand.
Yes, and Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas, everyone. Did you have a good Christmas, Billy?
Oh, yeah, great.
By all accounts, you were very drunk, weren't you?
Absolutely, 100%.
Out on the Raz all night, I heard.
I was at a friend's house. I got home about 2:30 without my charger. So I had to kind of mix and match adapters and stuff to keep your phone charged. But yeah, great day.
Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. I had round the sister-in-law's house. It was fun. Evening, Mark. Mark's looking forward to this. Good on you, Billy. Exactly. Why not? It's always good to get a little bit drunk and enjoy yourself on that Christmas. So, shall we dive in, boys?
Come on, let's do it.
Who the first one is?
Let's do a Madison.
I've got literally 34 to go through. So first of all, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. It helps us grow the channel. If you want to donate, there's a $sign. Hit that. You can donate to the channel, and it helps us to pay for all the stuff that we use to get all the information and all the equipment we use and keep the channel running. And then we have a memberships from 99p. So if you'd like to do that, that would be great. But first up, here he is, Samuel Umtiti.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 27-year-old from France, plays as a defender for Barcelona in La Liga. And he's played 66 matches for a total of 556 minutes. He scored 1 goal and has provided 1 assist. He's also won 48 tackles in total and displays a tackle success ratio of 63%. Now, and there's his heat map of what he's good at. And it's a bit like FIFA when you're trying to pick your team and you look at your other defenders. So his pressing and physical attributes look very strong. Obviously, the rest of it, the attacking sense and vision and dribbling and all that sort of stuff ain't great. Heading is not too bad. Defending is okay. But the physical and pressing side of things, passing and physical, sounds like a ball-playing midfielder, doesn't he? Something that Eddie Howe really likes.
He's an excellent player. World-class player. There's only one thing that holds Samuel Umtiti back, and that's the fact that he's constantly injured, mate. He's
Sorry, I've lost audio again.
No, I can still hear you.
The technology. Yep, so it's just technology playing funny games with me. So if we dive into him a little bit more, obviously, Barcelona in La Liga. He's 27. He's from France. He's a centre back. Like I say, he's made 66 appearances. 556 minutes, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's 182 centimeters in height, 75 kilograms, and he prefers his left foot as well. So he's a left footer.
He's a fantastic player. A fantastic player. He's once you can keep him fit, this man's a world class centre half. Unfortunately, the past 3 or 4 years, it's been injuries that have kind of stopped his progress in the Barcelona side. But if you can get him fit, then he's a fantastic player.
It's probably what Elite Salesman is talking about there. He's washed, hasn't he? He's washed out. He's not good enough anymore. Keep him fit and he walks into our team. Exactly. So, I mean, if you look at our centre-backs, the one thing that a lot of Newcastle fans have got to look at, like myself and yourself and everyone else that we talk to, is are they better than what we have currently?
Yeah.
And if that question is answered with a yes, it's plain and simple. We've got to get them in.
Significantly is the word I'd use.
Yeah, significantly better.
I mean, it'd be hard not to be better than Kieran Clark at the moment, wouldn't it, to be honest?
Again, he's always injured, but could we get him fit? Evening, Paul, thanks for joining. Great Christmas, thank you very much. Umtiti is not washed, but I'd rather have legit.
Yeah, Longlane's a good player too. Longlane's, a very good player. They're not injured half as much as Umtiti. They're very good together, actually.
Right. So they're obviously a centre-back pairing, and it's not being used as much. I wish this camera would work properly. Let's have a little bit more of his attributes. So this is his contract at the moment. It is verified as well, this contract. This is exactly what he does earn. The app that I used and paid for tells us a lot of information. Some contracts aren't verified, but some are. So this one is. He's on 14 million gross salary. Net yearly worth is 6.7 million. His contract expires on I don't know if that's the 30th of June. Yeah, 30th of June 2023. He's got 18 months left on his contract. So that's very interesting. So, and the fee that I believe, because of that, when I find it, because I've got information in messages as well, 15 million. Now, is that a steal or is that too much for someone who's always injured?
I would say so. I think it's a good price. It is a good price if you can afford to gamble on him being like playing every week. Are we in that position? That's the question. We need centre halves to come in the side and be readily available, not injury prone. But this lad, I mean, he's such a good player. I mean, he could be one for the summer, perhaps. I mean, the price is low because Barcelona need money, and he's one there. Obviously, looking at that kind of salary, it's a lot of money, isn't it? 6 million, nearly 7 million euros a year.
Then the thing is
tax and what have you.
Yeah, the thing is, then can we actually afford to pay those kind of wages if we could be going down?
Yeah, we can, but again, you pay him to be on the pitch, and I think if you're going to buy someone like Samuel Umtiti, you give him a pay-as-you-play deal, and I don't think he'd come on that.
Yeah, that's the other problem. There's loads of information on this app. I love it. So the other stuff, I'll go back to that picture again because there's more on there. You've got database rankings. So in all the players that they rank, he's 194th in the ranking. He's 41st ranked in La Liga. So that's not very good, is it, when you think about it? He's ranked 7 at Barcelona. So they're saying that there's 6 more players in front of him in that position. For France, he's ranked 26. So that basically means there's 25 more defenders in front of him. At centre-back, they're saying he's ranked 65th. And for his age, he's ranked 18th. So that means he's obviously at a decent age. So, again, I'll be buying players for where we are. And does he maybe think he's better than what he is, potentially?
I mean, those figures, the ranking figures, are they as players or as centre-halves?
As centre-halves, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
So they don't.
I'm not sure he's the type of man we need to get in as. You know, it's a massive gamble, and we can't afford to be gambling, can we?
No, definitely not. My camera keeps on going off. Sorry about that, boys. All right, has it worked? Yay!
How can I have Louis' face on his face then?
I don't understand how that's happened. Because he's done something. I don't know what he's done. Dean says Merry Christmas, Paul. I don't know who Paul is, but okay. It's so sensitive tonight, this camera. Leggett can pass, bad at tackling. We've got one of them already, haven't we, in Shaw? We need 747 sign-in, says Andy, to be safe. Every new contract will come with a clause allowing players to leave if we go down. I think that will happen. Yeah, I mean, they could also see potentially contracts where they say we'll loan you out for a season if we go down, and then you come back when we come back up. So there's still that option. Wages won't really be an issue, despite the league we're in, which is true. We'd rather go for Salou and Botman, so we can talk about one of them very, very shortly. But there's a few more stats on our Salou. If my camera would stop doing this to me, I'm not sure what I'm doing is touching the keyboard and the camera goes off. It's an absolute nightmare. So this is a little bit more information on him. So aerial duels, he wins 61% of them, which is 1.7 per game. Aerial duels lost 1.1. So it's not bad, is it?
He wins more than he loses. Yeah.
Yeah, he's never crossed the ball, surprisingly, but he is a centre-back, so why would he? He actually completes 77.8% of his dribbles, but he's only attempted 0.4, and he's been unsuccessful in 0.1, so he doesn't really bring the ball out that much, but that just shows he can. Shots on target, 46%, so while he does get up there, he has a goal. 0.1 shots on target and 0.1 shots off target, so it's kind of like a 50%, that one. His passing is 92%, so 65.3% accurate and 5.3% incomplete. And his tackles, 63%, so per game, successful tackles, one per game in half, 0.5 tackles lost. So when he goes into duels, he very rarely loses.
If you look at the dartboard on the right there, Baz, it kind of indicates that he's a player that reads the game rather than gets stuck in having to tackle with his interception rate, which looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And if you look at the middle one, the direction of passes, a lot of them go forward and they hardly ever go back. He doesn't like to use the goalkeeper. He does prefer to go out to the right-hand side to then the left-hand side. But that's encouraging to see a player who always looking to get on the front foot rather than going back to the keeper. So 36% goes forward, 40% goes to the right, 18% goes to the left, and only 6% goes backwards. So that is actually quite impressive for a centre-back. And like we've mentioned, interceptions is he's very high on. His blocks and clearance and tackles, they're all even, and so is his aerial duels. But he obviously likes to read the game and intercept before, there's any main danger. So that does bode well for me, for someone who you would want. And then again, Elite Salesman says he'd rather pick his partner at Barcelona. But again, we can't just pick who we please. It's the people who are willing to be sold, isn't it? Then, we'll take him. It doesn't just quite work like that.
Not yet.
Not yet. It will do eventually, but we're not quite there yet. So we've got another little dartboard coming up, which I like this one. So this is contributions to the team's stats. So in recoveries, 4%, clearances, 7%, tackles 3%. So that's out with the whole 90 minutes of a football match. It doesn't look like a lot, but when you actually see all the stats from all the rest of the players we look at, they're actually very good. Clearances, obviously 7% is very good as well. And then on the right-hand side, if you have a look at, obviously his rating is 56. What it's done is it's compiled all the stats and given us other players similar to him. So there's Kambembe at Paris Saint-Germain. And again, more Paris Saint-Germain players. There's an AZ Akmar one, Salsosa and Salsosa. So they're obviously ball-playing defenders because all those teams, when you look at them, they're all attacking teams, aren't they?
But if you remember the chap two up from the bottom, Chichues, he played at Spurs, didn't he, for a year? And it was absolutely horrendous.
Yes, he was,
It'd make, I don't know, slower than slow. But
similarity is 91%, which is quite high.
It is. I like the comparison to Kimpembe because he's a cracking defender, cracking centre half. As is
95% comparison, which is very, very high.
Yeah, and Marquinhos 94 too. So PSG's two central defenders, you can compare them to Umtiti, which is good. You know, it's the kind of defenders you want to be compared to, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
They're both quality, absolute quality.
So, looking at the stats, looking at the figures, guys, in the chat as well, and you, Billy, would you take a punt on them?
Purely because of the injury record, no. Not at this stage.
Yeah. I kind of get that. I do like his stats, though, to be honest with you, because obviously
he's a hell of a player. You know, France international.
Yeah.
World Cup squad. You know, he's a quality centre half, but it's that injury thing. The position we're in.
I know what you're saying.
Be no good buying him and for him to sit the rest of the season out, would it? Do you know what I mean? With injuries.
No, this is true. I get that. I understand that. I like him as a player. I do. So we'll put that down as a maybe. It's 50-50. No one in the chat has decided yet, people who are watching. So
come on in the chat.
So here's the next player, Boubacar Kamara, another French international, 22 years old, plays as a defender for Marseille in Ligue 1. In the 2021-22 season, he played 15 matches for a total of 1,105 minutes. He scored 1 goal and proved no assists. He won 12 tackles in total and displays a tackle success ratio of 54.55%. His SPR is 54 as well. So it's not as good as Umtiti's, is it?
He's more of a CDM, Boubacar Kamara.
Yeah.
Yeah, big CDM and a bloody good one as well.
Yeah, defending again, very high up on the list there to what Umtiti was. He's physical as well. His passing's good. Then again, it gets to the dribbling, attacking, and vision drops down, which you expect it. His heading's not great either, but that means he obviously reads the game well and doesn't need to be physically in the air. But he's the next player. We're going to look into some big detail now. Let's hope the camera doesn't go off. I take Kamara all day long. Let's see what happens then. So you're going to like this information on this bloke then. Let's get some more stuff up. So we mentioned Marseille, Ligue 1. He's 22, he's French, he's a centre-back. 111 appearances, 9,015 minutes, 3 goals, 5 assists in his career. He's 184 centimetres in height, 68 kilograms, so he's lighter than Umtiti as well, and he prefers his right foot. So would you have them both? One is a left foot and one is a right foot.
Kamara's more, I'd say, he's a CDM that I suppose can play at the back if you need him to, but generally plays as a central defensive midfield player. But he's pretty good. He's like a Hayden, but about 5 times better than Hayden type player.
Right.
Covers more ground, better passing, better defensively, more legs. He's only 22 as well.
Yeah, it's strange to put him as a centre back, haven't it?
Yeah, he's definitely defensive midfield. Absolutely.
Yeah, a bit strange that the statistics are putting him as a centre back, but obviously if you can play in both positions, it's great because it means he knows how to fill a hole if we get overrun. A bit like what Kante does for Chelsea and what he did do for Leicester.
Very like Kante, actually.
Yeah. So he is definitely high on the list. So if we go to the next slide, I'll just delete that one so we know where we are. So his contract hasn't been verified. So this is sort of it's a bit like a guesswork, I suppose. So gross salary, 1.4 million, yearly, 790,000. So he's cheaper. Contract expires on the 30th of June 2022. So this year he's only got 6 months left. So a deal could be easily struck, couldn't it?
I think so. I think we'd be after him before, to be honest. And his contract only like a year, 6 months on it. Definitely. Definitely. He isn't paid an awful lot either, by the look of it.
No, if that's correct, then he's not. No,
if that's correct,
unfortunately, it's
not verified. But
not verified, unfortunately. But
he's been there a while, hasn't he? He's been there since he was a youth team player. So
Right.
I'm going to kind of say that he's not going to be on huge wages. It's a fair assumption to say that them kind of ballpark figures would be pretty close.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think he'd be definitely someone you could get. Absolutely.
So his rankings, not too bad at club level 7, age 22. Obviously, that's a good rank.
This must be in the team itself, mustn't it?
It must be. So some of it's in the team, some of it's on the whole of like the league, and then some of it's in like the whole of France. So he does rate quite highly. So yeah, he's looking like a player that we could really use. A couple of more comments. Let's see where they go. Kamara is also United's target, is he?
We are United.
Yeah, Bazza, do you like Umtiti? Because you also like Shelby, cheeky bastard. Hi, Shelby's come out of his shell again, hasn't he? Let's not go there. Shelby's good. So that's his rankings and wages. Let's have a little look at some more in-depth detail of him. So aerial duels, 57%. He wins 2 a game and loses 1.5 a game. So that's not too bad for someone who's not at a big height, really. Crosses, he doesn't really put any in, to be fair. He's put 1 in and it wasn't a great one, but that's not his job. Dribbling, 63%, but again, 0.7, 0.4 unsuccessful, so he doesn't do it very often. Shots, only 29%. He doesn't really have an eye for goal. I mean, it's not his job. It's nice to have someone who can score from midfield, but, there's other better players around him. His accuracy on passing, though, 86.9%, which is very high. 51% completed, only 7% not completed, which is really good. You obviously, being in that midfield, you'll give it short to the other men around him. His tackles, 1.5 wins per game to 1.1 losses. So sometimes you'll lose out, but, it's the nature of the game, isn't it? They're not bad. So passing distribution, again, looks very good. He can go either side, left or right, but he definitely likes to look forward and very rarely looks back. So if we look at the percentages, 36% going forward, 24% to the right side, 28% to the left side, and only 11% backwards. Now, when you're a defensive midfielder and if you're always looking forward, that's very impressive, isn't it?
I agree. Yeah.
Because we've had far too many players who like to pass it back to Dubravka in our team, haven't we?
And its weakest part is receiving the ball to his feet, isn't it, Dubravka? So you're kind of playing against his strength. So yeah, I agree, absolutely.
Exactly. So the dartboard looks quite evenly out. Apart from, he doesn't cross very often. He doesn't launch attacks very often. But if you look at his defensive qualities there, tackles, interceptions, clearances, blocks, aerial duels, all look very good. And he still created some chances in games as well. So, in time, with his age as well, they're just going to get better, aren't they, those stats?
Absolutely. He's one for not just one for the present, he's one for the future as well. 22 years of age.
Definitely.
A central defensive midfield player with them kind of stats would walk straight into our team.
Yeah, definitely. So Ian says, need players to come into the team and make a difference. Can't be gambling on injury-prone players. It makes or break with this window. Get it wrong and we go down. I completely agree. And this is why, I'm hoping they've been doing a lot of their due diligence, like I've done today. Spent about 3-4 hours putting all this together, getting all these stats so we can have a good look at these players that are apparently. So again, guys, these guys have actually, been contacted by the club. These aren't just, out of the pot rumours. These are people who the club have contacted. And we do believe 2 of them are signed. So I will tell you about that in short time. Probably at the end of the show, we'll save that as a nice little icebreaker for you. Paul agrees with Ian. Get rid of Shelby ASAP. I mean, if we get a replacement in for him, not a problem. In fact, 75% of the team can go. I agree with that as well. Kamara's not a VB. I'm guessing that's CB centre-back. He's a centre DM. He has played in midfield for the last 2 seasons. You're probably right, Ginger. I'm just going off the stats that were on this app, and the stats are pretty good on this app as well. So Baris Kazuya was centre-back. Well, there you are. So they haven't updated it because he was a centre-back. Right, one more slide to look at. So contributions into the team, so you can see what the contributions of a centre-back are very different to what contributions to a midfielder is in a way. So recoveries, he's obviously quick. You can see danger and get back in the right places. Clearance is very high there, and tackles won very high. So he's obviously a very influential player in that team at the moment.
Yeah,
and then go on.
One of their biggest stars that season at Marseille. But if he's not signing a new contract, I think they'll definitely want to move him in this January window. So I know we asked him before and he turned us down, didn't he? But that's with the old owners.
Yes, and obviously more money now. The money's on. If Man United can't, Man United are obviously in theory a short-term better proposition, but in the long term, for his age, he could become a hero at Newcastle, couldn't he? And then you look on the right-hand side there. So there's, if we can't land them, these are the other players that rate with the stats very similar. I've never really heard of any of them, to be honest with you. I heard a guy who's 22 at Marseille.
I think that's a different one.
Yeah.
Because that's the one we know plays for PSG, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, true. But yeah, it doesn't look good for the other guys. So the ratings and the stats, maybe
they're all significantly weaker, aren't they? The 6 below, all significantly weaker.
Yeah. So
which is good for the bloke we want, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. We would like to get this lad in. Would you agree, Billy? Is he a definite yes if this window can work the magic?
He's a yes for me, absolutely.
Yeah, yes from me. And I think the people in the chat believe that as well. Phil, we need to buy in bulk given our league position, one in each position. Areas too risky due to injuries, or they'll don't adjust to house strategy, etc. Buying 11 players is a massive risk. You look at what Fulham did when they came up. They signed 11 players and then went straight down. So you've still got to keep the nucleus of the team together. People like maybe ASM, Wilson, Miggy, Shaw, Dubravka, there's 5 and maybe get 6 to play around them, potentially. That could be the way to go.
Getting them all bedded together, isn't it? The more you have, the less chance you've got of doing it. So
yeah,
I still believe we need anywhere between 6 and 8, 9 players myself, personally. But not all of them would be first straight in, and some of them would be kind of squad players, bench players. We definitely need a left back. Absolutely. Cover wise.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a good call if we got them 2 in, to be fair. We've always loved our French players at the club. 6 players for me, don't want to upset the full squad. Exactly. That's kind of my thinking, Mark, as well. You've still, it's a squad game, not just a team game. And like I say, injuries do play a big part, don't they? So, Brian, thanks for joining me. Need players that are coming for a fight, not a last big payday. The players we've looked at are quite young, though, so they're not really going to be the last big payday so far. So, they're like the Contes, aren't they, and people like that. So, and none of them are on this list, so that's a good thing. So we'll look at the third player. So Sander Berge from Sheffield United. I'm not 100% sold on this guy, but some of the stats are quite good, so we'll go through them. He's 23-year-old from Norway. Plays as a midfielder for Sheffield United in the Championship in 2021-22 season. He played 8 matches for a total of 507 minutes. He scored 1 goal, provided no assists. He's attempted 258 passes in total with a pass success accuracy rate of 88%. So that's quite high, isn't it?
He's a great player. In the season Sheffield United came up, he was the catalyst behind everything good that they did. But then when he was injured the second season, you saw what happened. So he's a key player, again, if you can keep him fit.
Yeah, very physical according to the chart.
Probably why he gets injured so much.
Yeah. Passing's good. Dribbling, not so good. Heading, not so good. Defending, pretty terrible. No, his vision and attacking doesn't look great there on the chart either, but very physical player according to these stats. See, so wouldn't take him, Paul says. I'm not 100% sold on him after seeing the stats, but we'll go through them all. It's like we mentioned, Sheffield United in the Championship. He's 23. He's a centre mid. 107 appearances, 8,310 minutes played, 7 goals, 5 assists. So would you class him as maybe a defensive midfielder rather than someone like a box-to-box midfielder?
He's just one of them effervescent type of midfielders that pops up everywhere. Kind of like a better version of Colback, if you like.
Right. Never. I'm sold on him for the first season, but then he's 195 centimeters, 96 kilograms. So he's quite lightweight, and he prefers his right foot as well. So there's a little bit more information on him. Not sure on Berge. Could do a job as a squad player, but not a starter. So yeah, again, I mean, we need squad players. So
I tend to agree with that.
Imagine Berge and Kraft playing on the same team. God help us. Paul is definitely not sold on him. Let's look at the next bit of stats. This is his contract. It's not verified, but his yearly salary is 3.1 million. His net yearly salary 1.7, so it's obviously gone up. His contract's got a little bit longer to run though, 30th of June 2024, so he's got 30 months left on it. Obviously, again, that's not verified, unfortunately, but I'm sure it won't be far off. I mean, it's a good app, this one. His rankings don't look great, but it doesn't surprise me because he is in the Championship, so his rankings aren't going to look great because of the league.
They're comparing him to the Belgian league that he was in before he came to
Yeah.
Sheffield United, which is...
Yeah, exactly. So Norway and all that sort of stuff. Let's look at the next one. So this is the one that's quite interesting for me because a couple of the stats don't really marry up with some of the stuff. So aerial duels, 55% wins. So he wins 2 a game and loses out on 1.5. Doesn't often cross the ball, 24% of the time in a game. Success rate is only 0.2 and his failure rate is 0.7. So don't get him on the wings. His accuracy of success on dribbling is 80%. So 1.4 attempted in a game, only 0.3 unsuccessful, which is quite good. 25.8% shots on target in a game, so 0.2 attempted, 0.3 off, and 0.2 blocked. So you might try a long ranger every now and again. That would be probably his forte. And then passing, though, 88%, so 45.3 in a game, completely fine, only 6.5 inaccurate passes. So he's got a high passing rate, and his tackles rate are high as well, so 68.2% tackles, 1.3 per game attempted, so 68% won and 0.6 lost. So that's not too bad when you look at that. And then you've got his dartboard there, like we mentioned. His short passes very good, recovery is very good, which Howe likes, doesn't he? He likes his players getting back, and that's the highest we've seen any of the dartboards with 4 marks on there. His long passing very good as well, but his shots on target, chances created, and dribbles are quite low. So he's definitely someone who likes to ping the ball, a bit like Shelby, really, I suppose.
Apart from the through ball dartboard bit isn't great. It's blank, but. I think it's all based on his first season at Sheffield United in the Premier League, where he was absolutely outstanding. Since then, I don't know how he's done in the Championship, because I don't watch Championship very much.
Yeah,
but it seems like since that first season, he's been kind of not playing for one reason or another.
Obviously, a lot of people say injuries. That's why they wouldn't have him, because he gets injured quite a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Norwegian, so let's hope he's good. Good pals with Haaland. Imagine getting him in the next season. Yeah, so there's another way in to get someone like him, maybe. Sign one of his mates and look after him, and then we get the big man in. For some reason, I've missed out the chart of direction of passes. So this was actually quite interesting again, because 28% going forward, 26% to the right, 33% to the left. So he prefers pinging the balls out wide.
Yep.
only 13% backwards, which again is another big plus. We want someone looking forward a lot. So again, those stats are quite good. And the next dartboard's actually quite good as well. So shots on target 3% in 90 minutes. His passes 6% and recoveries 5% in a game. How many times he has to do it, they're all pretty good stats. And then you've got players potentially like him, which is what put me off, because Scott McTominay 90%.
Yeah, and he's not as good as him.
Exactly. And then there's Sissoko there, not the Sissoko we know, but another one. But again, so that kind of put me off looking at the other players that are quite similar to him. But again, you had that one great season, didn't he? When Sheffield United stayed up, and you say everything went through him quite well. So
it weren't just a case of staying up; they finished top 10, didn't they? So
they did, yeah.
An outstanding season. But since then, as I say, he's been injured an awful lot. One of the reasons why they went down was because he didn't play hardly any of the games.
Yeah.
But it'd just be a squad thing for me, a squad player.
Yeah, I agree. So that's 3 players down. So while we'll just have a quick little breather, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed and new to the channel, you're enjoying what you see, this is a one-off transfer rumour before January window hits. I got some information from someone who's very reliable. He knows a few agents and a few players at the club. So he's told me these in confidence. And I've also been told about 2 players who potentially signed in confidence, who I will reveal at the end of the show. Don't forget, if you would like to donate to the channel, it is Christmas and New Year. Make our day. Hit that $. Anything from £1 upwards would be amazing. It all goes towards the channel and paying to keep it running. And we do have memberships available from 99p. And if we get enough of them and the money rolls in, it'll be reinvested into prizes to give away on prize draws to all the people who subscribe as a member. So it'll be a members only draw, because I think it's good to give back. And so sign Newcastle shirts and stuff like that. We'll do our best to get what we can. So let's move on to the next player. This is the one that everyone thinks could be done. So Kieran Trippier, he is a massive player we could do with. His SPR rate of 54 is good. He's 31, probably the only downside about him, but we need players for now who are Premier League proven. Plays for Atletico Madrid, as we all know, in La Liga. So in 21-22 season, he played 14 matches for a total of 888 minutes. He didn't score any goals, didn't provide any assists. He won 11 tackles in total and displays a tackle success ratio of 55%, which is good for a right back. I don't know if he had injuries last season, did he? Well, no, it's this season, isn't it?
I think he got a collarbone over the season. I think he dislocated his shoulder or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. He has, yeah. He's came back and he's played in the last couple of games for Atletico Madrid, which makes me believe that the deal might not be as close as what some people say it is. But I personally would love to see him. And if Atletico Madrid don't want him and he wants to come back to England, let's get it done. I mean, if you look at these little FIFA chart, that's what I call it, his vision for a right back is very good. His passing's very good. He is physical. He doesn't shy out of a tackle. His defending is, for a defender, I suppose, is not bad, but not great. Attacking side of it's very low, which is a bit of a surprise for his free kicks and crossing. He's dribbling quite low for a right back as well. And his head in the ear is quite small, isn't he? He doesn't win too many headers. So that's a couple of comments come in. Lads, I'm not sure about Trippier. Oh, really, Paul? Bit surprised at that. Brighton 1, Brentford 0. That's good for us, I think. Don't think it really matters too much, does it? Or is it good? I don't know. We'll see.
Brentford ain't too far ahead, are they?
Yeah. Southampton winning today was a bit of a killer.
Yeah, that was a killer.
Yeah, I know Joel was very happy, and he had a little dig at West Ham.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Basically said, West Ham, aren't they meant to be good? So Kieran Trippier, Atletico Madrid, La Liga, 31, as we mentioned. He plays as a full-back, normally a right-back, but he can play a left-back. 118 appearances, 9,536 minutes played, scored 1 goal and 18 assists. I mean, that's very high for a right back, isn't it? 18 assists.
Fantastic.
It is, isn't it? He's 178 centimetres in height, 71 in weight, which is a bit lightweight, but it's what you expect for a right or left back. And he prefers his right foot, so that's why he prefers to play at right back than left back. But those stats look good, don't they, Billy?
Well, it's proof in the pudding. We've seen him play at the highest level possible, haven't we? In kind of European Champions finals and things like that. So he's a fantastic player.
We have.
2-0 Brighton.
Ooh, now finally pulling the finger off. Now this contract has been verified. Apparently doesn't have any months left on it, which is a bit strange. I would have thought you'd have 6 months left on it, but it's the tick next to verified. So gross yearly salary 2 million, net salary 960,000. It's got to be bigger than that, hasn't it?
That's take home, but I mean it's still only 40 grand a week, isn't it? So
yeah, true. I would have thought it'd be higher than that.
We'd be able to get someone, you'd be able to get him in and give him a significant wage increase. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I mean, his wages were very high in 1920, and then it dropped right down when he went to Atletico Madrid. It's a bit of a surprise, that. And again, the rankings, they're basically based on these England rankings there for Tottenham and England. So that's what we want to see, though, because we want to see what he looked like when he was in the Premier League. So, they're quite good, the database.
5th best player at Spurs, 17th best player in England. Man, ain't bad, is it? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
For a fullback.
Yeah, exactly. And then here we go. Here's the good stats that are coming in now. So we've got aerial duels, 57%. Again, he wins a little bit more than what he loses in a game. It doesn't surprise me. He's not a tall guy, is he? His crossing's 21% success rate. So when he does get down the wing, apparently his crossing's not as great. But when he does get a good one in, it's quality, don't you? Because we've seen it. He's dribbling 66%. So in a game, he tries, 0.8%, 0.5 success, 0.3 not. Shots only 22%, but he doesn't try shooting very often unless he gets a free kick, to be fair. He's passing 79%. So that's not too bad. So within a game, he tries about 43 passes or more, and 11.4 aren't successful. So and his tackle is 60%. So he wins just more than what he loses out on. But that's the life of a right back, in it, when you've got a skillful winger running at you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if that could be any lower, then he'd be absolutely amazing, wouldn't he? His direction of passes is obviously very interesting.
It's not really anything about where he stands on the pitch.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that, but again, forward, 35%, right hand side 2%. I was thinking down the line. I guess that's forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
42% to the left, so obviously playing along the back. 21% goes backwards, so that's to the keeper. You prefer that to be a little bit lower, but sometimes you just got to do it, haven't you? So
this might be the England stats in. If you remember how England played in the Euros, it was constantly going back, wasn't it?
True. The dartboard on chances created, though, for a right back, very high.
Absolutely, it's huge, isn't it?
5 marks on there. That's nearly only 3 marks off the top. He's crossing free and tackles free as well, which isn't too bad. Blocks and clearances, not great for a defender, but he is quite an attacking defender, though, isn't he? So you kind of forgive him for that if he creates chances. And again, look at this recovery, 7%. They mix more recoveries than most. Clearances and tackles won according to that in a game for the team. Obviously, the rest of the team aren't pulling the finger out because he's doing most of it. And then the stats for, the RP and everything there. He's come against some players I've never really heard of again.
Yeah, Isla was at QPR. He's now in Turkey, but he's the best of all the fullbacks there that he's comparable to. So
yeah, 93%.
Kenny Tete was at Fulham, wasn't he? I don't know where he is now. But yeah, he's clearly he's one of the best fullbacks in the world, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's one of the best right backs in the world.
No, he is, definitely.
It's a position where England are blessed with. And you've got to think, he keeps people like Trent out the side at times. Kyle Walker is kept out the side at times. And he's a top quality footballer, aren't they? So anyone's kind of sticking the nose up at Trippier. He's not a long-term buy, but he's one that's going to solidify the defence immensely if he's on him.
Yeah, he's a short-term to keep us up, really, isn't he? I mean, you probably get a good 2 years out of him potentially, and then look for a better right back. But in the meantime, I think it's a massive yes for Trippier. For you as well?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And obviously Paul in the chat doesn't believe so, which is a bit of a surprise. But you've got to think, is he better than what we've got? And if you look at our right backs, yes, he is. So Sven Botman is the next man on our list. So 21-year-old, Netherlands, plays as a defender for Lille in League One. In the 2021-22 season playing now, he's played 12 matches so far for a total of 1,018 minutes. He scored 1 goal and has provided 1 assist. He's won 6 tackles in total and displays a tackle success rate of 50%. And again, on FIFA, looks like he's very physical, which was a bit of a surprise for me. His heading looks good. His defending looks brilliant. You know, he looks like the perfect centre-back, doesn't he, that you want to... If you were playing that game, you know, you would marry that up against all the rest of the centre-backs and you'd be picking them left, right and centre, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the attributes that he has are phenomenal. And we kind of looked at him on the rumour mill the other week, didn't we? And we were kind of led to believe that he didn't like tackling side, the physical side of the game. So I decided people were disagreeing with that. So I had a look at him, had a few, looked through a few films and videos of him. The guy's awesome. Awesome. Like a young Van Dijk.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that. So that's Botman. Let's have a look closer, bit of a closer look. Like we mentioned, Lille, it's only 21. He's centre back, 75 appearances, 6,731, 3 goals and 5 assists in his career so far. Height 195 centimetres, weight only 85 kilograms, and prefers his left foot. So there's a lot of talented left foot centre backs around these days, isn't there?
Yeah.
And you like that as well because you like the right and left combination to play in the centre back roles. So I do like that. So this is his apparently his contract. Unfortunately, this one's not verified. So it's 370,000 gross year salary. Net salary 200,000. Contract expires on the 30th of June 2025. So he's got 42 months left on his contract. So he's going to be a hard person to prize out of Lille. But they need to sell, don't they? And he's obviously, they're going to earn a lot of money off him if they sell him. And his contract's not worth a lot though. So it's a bit of one of those ones. Should they keep him or should he not? And then you look at his rankings, 8th in Netherlands, 2nd in Lille, 25th in League One. He's ranking
the 5th best 21-year-old in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So he does look like a special player, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Norman is young and a great player. Botman, Paul says. Yeah, Botman just looks phenomenal on those stats. The only thing that worries me, his contract's so low, is why would Lille want to get rid of him when they're only paying him pennies?
Might not be their choice. If he's only earning 4K a week, according to that, taking home 4K a week, his agent's probably all over it. Who can pay him the most money? And I'm guessing that's going to be us. Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? Let's get into some good stats then. I do like these ones. So aerial duels, 70%, which is really high. I mean, at 3.8%, 3.8 aerial duels, he wins. He loses 1.6, which is really good for a centre-back, isn't it? Crosses, doesn't even get in those kind of positions, so we don't really want to talk about that. And we've got dribbles, 62%. Very rarely dribbles out the back, though. 0.1 success, 0.1 unsuccess. So shots, 36%. He might get in the box for headers and stuff like that. So 0.2 per game on target, 0.3 off target, and 0.1 blocked. Passes 85%, so he's obviously a cultured centre-back, especially being Dutch. Very, very good at passing. And he's tackling 66.3%, so 0.8 tackles attempted and won, 0.4 lost. So those stats are phenomenal. And then again, the direction of passing is unbelievable as well in my eyes for a centre-back. So 42% going forward, 36% to the right side, which he seems to prefer, 18% to the left, but only 4% going backwards. Now that is very, very good. Because, we hate our... we don't like our goalkeeper having the ball at his feet. And there again, it's proven on the dartboard, his aerial battles are obviously his strengths. The rest, like chances created, crosses, launches, no point in even looking at that. Tackle's not too great, but he doesn't tackle. He wins the ball in the air by the looks of things. His clearances and interceptions really good. So interceptions are high. That's why his tackles are low. Yeah. So he reads the game well and cuts the through balls out and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, very, very good.
You can make a great comparison here if we would sign this chap. This chap would be a great comparison. Vincent Kompany at Man City.
Yeah.
They signed him pretty young and he went through it and became the kind of the leader of the club. And that's the potential this lad's got for us. We could be looking at the captain for many years to come, and fantastic signing if we could get him.
Paul says, where is it? Absolute steal. And then we've got Botman is behind Van Dijk and the Neville in pecking order, which says a lot, doesn't it? John Linton to make Ronaldo shit himself. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Diane Solo, Botman, Trippier, back four for me. That would be a great back four, wouldn't it? Barry Shearer says we need 5 or 6. He's right, and Howe should listen. Free won't do anything. I've not said free. I said 5 or 6 myself as well, mate. So I don't know where you've got free from. But again, all we can say, keep an eye out for January. It's going to be very, very interesting, especially when there's already 2 apparently through the door. So it says they're going to be looking big. So this one is apparently we've contacted Man United about Dean Henderson, a possible loan. So it's not a permanent, it is a loan. He's 23-year-old, plays as a goalkeeper. Obviously it was Sheffield United where we got these stats from, because that's where he did most of his work. It was last in the season when he was there. So that's 2019-2020. He played 36 matches for a total of 3,240 minutes. He conceded 33 goals and 13 clean sheets, which is massive in the Premier League, with 97 saves in total, and he displays a save ratio of 75% that season. That's massive. Says he's a very physical goalkeeper, but all goalkeepers have got to be physical. I mean, I'm not really looking into that little stat too much.
No.
But that season just shows you, doesn't it? I don't know when Howe said free, to be honest with you, mate. I don't know. I must have missed that.
I don't think he's put any figures out, has he?
Yeah, I don't know. He must have said something. But again,
he might have said, "Oh, we need 2 or 3. Maybe we need 2 or 3 new faces in," but doesn't mean they want 3 exactly, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. There's a very good chance there's going to be a lot more coming through the door. So Henderson's a yes for elite salesman. He hasn't even seen all the stats on him yet. Come on, pal, I'm getting there. But yeah, he's a yes for me as well. This guy put Sheffield United top 8 last first season.
Yeah, I mean, again, aligned with the Sander Berge thing being out and Henderson going back to Man United, you can see why they were relegated the following season, because they were probably their 2 best players, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. So there's a little bit more about him. He's obviously a Manchester United player. He's 24. He's English. He's a goalkeeper. 95 appearances, 8,505 minutes. He's got an assist as well. Not bad. 188 centimeters in height and 85 kilograms in weight. And it doesn't have his preferred foot, but I think he was right-footed, wasn't he?
So,
could be wrong on that. This is his contract, and it has actually been verified. At the time of when this was took, so his gross yearly salary is 6 million, net salary is 3.3 million. His contract expired on the 30th of June 2025. He's got 42 months left on it, and that's now. I mean, it's a lot of money for a
goalkeeper who sits on the bench, isn't it? Goalkeeper, Baz.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, but I mean, if we can sign him, I think he goes straight into the team, to be completely
I
honest with
agree.
you.
Totally agree.
Let's have a little look at his rankings. Or obviously, when he was at Sheffield United, because I thought it was good to put that in there. And the rankings are good. Championship, obviously, very high ranking. In England, quite a high ranking. Yeah, he's just a good goalkeeper, isn't he? I would take him all day long. But let's have a quick little look at his last stats, because obviously there's a few that don't really matter as a goalkeeper, but I thought these were very, very interesting. Save success ratio, almost full bars. Close range saves ratio, again, a little bit less than his actual
6 out of 10.
ratio. Yeah. Long range save ratio, 9 out of 10. And his distribution accuracy, very, very good. 6 out of 9, I think that is there. And it was out of 10. Out of 10. So 6 out of 10. To have a distribution accuracy like that is very, very good.
It is, for goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly. And then his dartboard's very impressive as well for clean sheets, recoveries, saves, shot ranges, his distributions. It's all very good. He's just a very good goalkeeper in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then you look at the players like him. David Martin, apparently 93% similar. Again, I don't really want to look too much into that because he's a young goalkeeper. I mean, they're all old goalkeepers there, I'm considering. But they're saying his attributes are very similar.
In the world at the word a minute, so you can't really compare that. They're both goalkeepers. That's how they're so similar. Jan Oblak, probably maybe the best keeper in the world at the minute, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's just to do with his actual attributes. He's 92% similar, which obviously bodes well for Henderson, doesn't it? Because obviously he's a very well-rounded and well-liked goalkeeper.
And again, young, he's got plenty of years to get to. He's nowhere near his peak yet, let's be honest. Goalkeepers don't peak to 32, 33.
Sander Berge is not worth the money. I'd take Botman, Kamara, Trippier, but these strikers we are linked with is typical mix and add-on to. I'm not really seen as being linked with a striker. This is the thing. And Paul agrees with Ginger, which, it's a very good point. The thing is with the Nixon
thing, Ginger, is you kind of been fairly criticising him here because you're seeing his work with Mike Ashley. Now, when Mike Ashley was in charge, Steve Nixon might have took a list with 25 players in it, and they go straight to the 25th one. So you haven't seen the first 24.
This is true.
Yeah, there was 6th, 7th, 8th choice on his list for each position. So you see him working under people that are going to actually trust what he's saying and invest in what he's saying. It's hard. I think it's unfair to criticise him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I massively agree with that because he is a bargain basement owner, wasn't he? There's a lot of stories of shite French players, but again, there was always loads of stories of shite French players when we were linked with everyone, weren't we, under Ashley? And we still went for the shite Spanish players instead.
And Graham Carr brought a lot of those in as well, shite French players, as well as some good ones. But you brought some shite ones too.
He did, yeah. I mean, obviously, Kabay, Ben Arthur, Sissoko, they were all the good ones that made an immediate impact. Tiote, you're going to find gems, but they did throw a lot of crap at it as well. So, Steve Nixon was hired by Rafa. He knew nothing about being a scout. He was Carr's understudy.
So you've totally kind of gone against what you've said there.
Yeah.
In one sentence, you've said the opposite to what you mean, or you've said the opposite to what you're arguing about. If it was Carr's understudy, then he was a scout, an understudy to a scout.
Yeah.
So he did know something about it, didn't
he? Sorry, Ginger, but I think you've lost that one.
Had a bit of a player there, mate.
Yeah, this is the last player we're going to look at. So Moussa Dembele. So he's 25-year-old French player again. Plays as a forward for Lyon. So we're finally linked with a forward player, but not a striker. He's more of a ASM sort of player, isn't he? That kind of forward player. In 2021-22 season, he played 11 matches for a total of 709 minutes. He scored 4 goals and has provided 1 assist. He took 23 shots in total with a shooting accuracy of 48%. Not great. He says he's quite physical. I wouldn't have said he was a physical player, to be fair. His attacking attributes look all right, heading not too bad. But again, with that heat map, looking at that, you would think there were better players around, wouldn't you?
I mean, he's a funny one because he was brilliant for Celtic, but again, it's a different league, isn't it? He hasn't done too badly goals-wise for Lyon, and he did okay for Fulham when he first came into the team, but seems to have dropped off a little bit of a cliff lately, which is kind of concerning. There's a bit of attitude about him, I think. He's a great player.
I mean, he was. I mean, I saw him a lot at Celtic, and obviously that's in the Scottish League, which is very hard to judge him. I mean, I always said sign him, but if he's got an attitude problem at Lyon, he's not going to like it at Newcastle, is he? With Howe's, the way he trains the players and stuff like that. But so Ginger, if Rafa made him head coach to get his type of players in, that's fair enough. But what you've got to remember is the money that we were spending on players weren't the ones that Rafa wanted. And Rafa wanted to sell the Championship players to get better players in, and it didn't happen because of Mike Ashley. So, and again, he said he was Carr's understudy, so that means he does know about scouting and he knows what he's doing. So let's drop that one. Get Dembele in, very good player. Dembele reminds me of a Salah type when he's clearly talented but not quite elite. And apparently he's failed at Real Madrid. But
Atletico,
yeah. Dembele failed at Real Madrid. Yeah, so he failed at one club. It doesn't mean he's a bad player, though, does it? Sometimes you go to a club and it doesn't work out and you go somewhere else. I'll just remind you of
he's not a Simeone type player, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I'll remind you of a certain player called John Dal Thomason who came to Newcastle United under Kenny Dalglish, looked like an absolute flop, went over to Italy, to AC Milan, and won the Champions League. So, do you know what I mean? There's silver linings sometimes for players. It either clicks or it doesn't click. But I'm not going to write him off just because he failed at one club. And he did so well at Celtic, and he's obviously a talented player. So there's a little bit more about him. He's still young as well. He's 25. He's just coming into his peak, potentially 27. They say players peak, don't they? So, and he's a sort of a ASM sort of forward player. 108 appearances, 6,345 minutes played, 37 goals, 6 from the bench, 7 assists. I mean, again, I'll ask the question: is he better than what we have?
I'm going to say yes, he is.
Then he's a yes. 183 centimeters, 73 kilograms, preferred foot, both of them apparently. So again, sort of a talent that we want to see at the club potentially. Let's look at his contract. So verified, unfortunately not. But according to this, he's got no months left on it. So again, he's very expensive. 4 million grossly yearly salary. Net yearly salary nearly 2 million. His rankings are good. I mean, it all looks very good, doesn't it? Really, when you think about it.
He's an excellent player. It's which Moussa Dembele you get, I guess. You wouldn't want the Atletico Madrid one, but you certainly want the one from Celtic and Lyon.
Exactly. Absolutely. Running at defenders, doing stuff. If Newcastle want a striker, go for Jovic, even Jamie from Salzburg, where their history of bringing the strikers for Haaland. Yeah, potentially. I mean, again, but Dembele is a forward, not a striker. This is, if we're going to get a striker, you got to find one that's better than Wilson and who can do it in the Premier League. So, it's hard to find. Even Matthew, thanks for joining. We're nearly finished though, pal. So here's some important stats for him. So aerial duels, 46%. He's involved in 2.5% of wins and 2.9% of losses. His crossing isn't great, only 37%. This is where his stats sort of let him down a little bit. 46.8% accuracy of dribbles, 1.1 per game success, 1.2% not. At least he tries, though. That's the other thing to look at. 42% accuracy on shooting, so 1.4 on target per game, 1.3 off target, and 0.6 blocked. Passes 71%. So that could be a bit better, couldn't it? And his tackles 53%, but he's like ASM. He's not going to tackle, is he? No,
it's more of a strike. It's more of a central kind of forward than a flank man, to be honest. But yeah, he'd be a great signing for us, I think. Anyway,
he's not a striker. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's a forward player. Let's get that right. He's not a Shearer. He's not a Lukaku, who are strikers, physical presence. Dembele is more of a forward. There's a very difference in the word in Ginger. The very, very, very different style of players. This is very interesting, though. You know, Ball's obviously being a forward type player, you would still like to see him going forward more, but 20% forward, 25% to the right, 26% to the left, and 29% backwards. So that means he's obviously passing the ball back into midfield, isn't he? So it's not going back to the goalkeeper. So it's a little bit misleading that. His dartboard for touches in the box, obviously quite high. Shots for when he gets in there. Not too bad. He always played alongside a front man, or potentially as the number 10 as well, though, didn't he? He wasn't just a front man. This is what I'm trying to get at, mate. He's not a striker. Strikers are different. He's a forward. They're different types of players. He's not a sort of person you would punt the ball up to and ask him to hold on to it and pass it back, is he? He's not a target man. See, target man, striker, forward player, runs with the ball, dribbles, shoots, skillful. You know, they're two different jobs. You're wrong. He's a striker. Well, I'm saying you're wrong, mate. So we'll just end it there.
Peter Beardsley got that many goals as a centre as a forward as well. So you mean
exactly?
He's a skillful forward. He drifts along the front line, but he's kind of a centre forward, really. Not as much as a striker, target man, traditional number 9. Yeah. Even though he wore the number 9, he's not a traditional one, is he?
Yeah, he's not a traditional number 9 at all. And he's not a. Who's another player, for example? Who's the guy we used to have? Mitrovic. He's a striker. Calvert-Lewin, he's a striker. Lukaku's a striker. But then you've got the likes of Rashford, forward, more like a Dembele in my eyes. And that's what I saw when I saw him at Celtic. He was someone who liked to run with the ball rather than being a target man. So the two different jobs, but very similar jobs because they play up front. They play at the top of the pitch. So 12% goals, 4% chances created, and 11% shots on target. So not bad as a forward. So these are the guys who are very similar to him. Jean Vella, 33. You know, again, he'll be too old if we don't get him. Andreas Balotelli.
But let's see, good player, obviously European champion.
Batshuayi, again, not good enough, is he? You know, these are similar sort of.
Now? Jesus.
Yeah, 28, yeah. Koda, never heard of him. 91%, very similar to him. 33%. You know, Hertha Berlin player. Doesn't exactly scream talent there, does it? Who are like him. So they're the 7 players. Would you take him? Would you take Dembele?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So who are the 7 players?
I just think the Simeone thing at Atletico Madrid and also the forwards they have there, the Suarez's, people like that of that ilk. Griezmann's also there now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not going to get a game for them. They're kind of workhorse forwards, aren't they? Dembele isn't like that.
See, there's another one, Griezmann. He's not a striker, he's a forward.
Attacking, and Simeone's not the most attacking-minded manager, is he? Whereas Eddie Howe likes to play on the front foot, and I think he'd get more of a tune out of Dembele. And it seems strange saying this than Diego Simeone, but it's more suited to his game, isn't it? It's the game he wants to play.
Till he gets injured, we need an injury-free striker. We don't have one, do we?
You can't guarantee a player not getting injured.
Exactly. Look how many times Shearer was injured. Unfortunately, there's not many players out there who don't get injured these days. We would like to see us get Jonathan David. Yeah, he's another one as well, isn't he? So Matthew, the players we've discussed, if you want to go back and watch the show when you get a chance, Samuel Umtiti, Boubacar Kamara, Sander Berge, Kieran Trippier, Sven Botman, Moussa Dembele, and Dean Henderson on loan. The other ones that have been approached to sign. So that's the difference between them ones. So I did promise it. So I was told by someone you know as well, Billy. I'm not going to mention his name on here, but he's fond of our show and Paul's show and everybody else. He does work in media, and he said that he has been told. Now, whether it's true or not, this is off the from a good source in my eyes, that Botman and Trippier have actually been agreed. And as soon as the window opens in January, they should be walking straight through the door. Now, I hope it's true, because they are two players we 100% need. And they'll be a great start to the window.
Absolutely. There's one part of the pitch we need strengthening. It's the back four, and Botman would be streets away from what we have already in the back. And also Trippier's the experience, the quality of player he is. He's a world-class fullback.
Yeah.
Again, I like Manquillo, but again, Trippier's streets ahead of him, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Without a doubt. All quality players then. Do you really think this list was leaked? Because we know PIF has their list of players they want. This has come from agents. So the list hasn't been leaked. Obviously, agents have been contacted by the club, and they've been contacting the club and offering players. Like we've all heard from PIF, every single position is open. And I'm lucky enough to know somebody who knows an agent who has told us about these 7 players, and that's how the information came about. We don't give names out because then we'll lose the information in the future. So, and I've always said I'll give out information when I get it, and I only give out the information that I like. So this was one that I liked, so it was good to look at it. Matthew would love us to get Ward-Prowse or Calvin Phillips. I would love both of them. We have been linked with Calvin Phillips as well, haven't we? But wasn't on the list. But I would love both of them without a shadow of a doubt. Trippier, exactly what we need. Very solid in the back four, exactly. Evening Trules, you're a little late, mate, but thanks for joining. We need that. PSG did get 3 big players in the summer to get the other players interested. Yeah, absolutely right, Ginger. We need a marquee signing to get everybody through the door. So if Botman and Trippier are the start of it, it's going to show that big players will come to the club and, take a risk. Again, they're going to get paid a lot of money doing it. So we are going to get mercenaries. There's nothing we can do about it. It is going to happen. But we've just got to hope that they perform and keep us up. Agents have always had big mouths. They sure have, Matthew. Did you watch the Sky interview yesterday? No. Christmas Day, I was entertaining lots of children with lots of family, lots of food, nearly been sick because I ate up to about here, and I had far too much. I had some millionaire shortbread cake. It was just unbelievable. I had to have 2 sittings of it. It was unreal. Phillips, we need a gritty player in the centre of mid. We do. Phillips would be perfect. He'd be perfect for Man United as well, but he won't go there.
Kamara can do that job too.
Yeah, exactly. It's how PSG started. It's how Man City started as well with Robinho. They got that marquee signing in, and had that lanky lad from Arsenal. When he scored the goal, Adebayor, that's him. Couldn't get his name out. Hopefully Botman and Trippier in the first few days. Hopefully it's day 1 of January. If it's not, then I'll be worried.
I once heard a really funny joke. Not a joke, actually. It was tweeted. It was on an online forum about Adebayor. Do you remember when he was playing for the Ivory Coast and their coach got held up and
yes.
got on the and it kind of, I think a couple of them got shot, didn't they? Killed. The week after that, when they came back and played for Man City, scored against Arsenal and ran the whole length of the pitch towards the Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I remember
it. And some wag put, that's the first time he's ever ran some distance to face the Gunners.
That's terrible.
I know.
That's naughty. All top agents around the world sat at the table talking transfers. It wouldn't surprise me because then the agents they've got to do it. PSG got into Thiago Silva and Cavani. Yeah, they did. But again, like I said, this Man City's revolution was the one that we're trying to copy. because they've done it in our league and they've won the league within 5 years when they were bought out. So let's hope that's going to happen for us. But they're the 7 players. I mean, if we can get half of them, I'll be very impressed.
Absolutely. In order of preference, it'd be Botman, Trippier, Dembele, Kamara, Henderson, and then Berge, and who's the other one?
That was them. Oh, Umtiti.
Umtiti, yeah, be the last one because of his injury records.
Not great.
You can't take a gamble on him at this stage of where we are, and perhaps if we were high on the table and had him as a kind of squad player when he got himself fit, then he'd be great. But in the situation we find ourselves in, there's absolutely kind of no way we're going to be signing him, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. Truls, yeah, we said 5 or 6 players, mate. That's what we need. Man City also got Mangala. Don't make that mistake. Yeah,
we did, yeah. I
know, but PSG is the closest club to our mess. They were destroyed. Kita made a big team again. Yeah, but I mean, Paris Saint-Germain was sort of similar to Man City, though, weren't they? I mean, they're in a crap league as well, let's face it. We've got to look at what Man City do in our league and try and copy it.
They bought some Premier League players too. Your Bridges and your Gareth Barrys and people like that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, looking at the list, I'd have Henderson as in the top 3, to be honest with you, because if we want to play out from the back and we want to keep this way Howe wants to play, we need a goalkeeper who's good with his feet. And I worry about Dubravka with these tactics because we've seen how many mistakes he's made so far. He's cost us 2 goals and the first goals in games. Yes, he's kept us in games with his brilliant saving, but if he doesn't fit the tactics, you've got to replace the player. You can't ask him to do a job that he can't do, and he can't play out from the back. Milton Naz, apparently I heard he's off to Roma.
Roma, yeah, I've heard Roma, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a shame because he is a good player again. Yeah, I would go Trippier, Botman as the top 2, then Henderson, then Dembele, Kamara, Berge, and Umtiti. I think that would be my ranking. Just because the simple fact is he wants to play out from the back. And if you're going to play out from the back, you've got to have a goalkeeper who's comfortable with his feet. So that's,
in fact, it goes past to say I'd take the first 4 hands down. I wouldn't take Berge and I wouldn't take Umtiti. The other 5 I'd take.
But again, Berge and Umtiti could be good squad players.
Possibly.
You've got to look at our bench again. Are they better than what sits on our bench? Then it's a yes. Get them all in. You know, and like you say, we want to completely out this squad, don't we? So thing is the only ball playing centre back that list because
Botman is too.
From the back. No, Botman definitely is as well. He's come through Dutch side of things. The Dutch know how to play football. Did Salou get written off? He's just not on the list. I know everyone's wanting him, and hopefully that can happen as well. But he wasn't on the list I was given. So Berge is a strange one. Haven't seen much of him personally. He was brilliant for Sheffield United in that first season when they stayed up, Matthew. He was basically their ball-playing midfielder. Everything good went through him. Then he got injured, and then Sheffield United went down because of it, and he hasn't featured much in the Championship either, unfortunately. So the talent's there. It's whether we take a risk. But he's obviously proven he can do it when he's fit in the Premier League. So, again, he could be another one that sits on the bench. He's better than Hendrick. He's better than Longstaff. Both the Longstaffs, you know. So, we've got to start thinking like that, don't we, sometimes?
Well, if the worst comes to worst, he'd be a fantastic player for the Championship, wouldn't he, as well?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to think that side of things as well, haven't you? So... thoughts on Timo Werner link? I wouldn't have. I mean, he's sort of better than what we've got.
This is a spot link.
Shy Germany said yesterday on Sky he might come to us because he's got. Yeah, exactly. We've looked at his contract, and there's not long left on it for Timo Werner. No, Timo Werner. I think we're talking about.
Really?
I think so. I don't want him.
Sorry, I don't have an answer.
Alexa, turn off. Why do you do that? It was you swearing at it. It just likes to just pop up every now and again for some strange reason.
Must be Timo Werner.
Yeah, exactly. Werner is just a link. It's just as the same agent as Shaw. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Werner is a decent player, but a shocking goal scorer. Yeah, I agree with that. It's quite quick. He does a lot of the hard work, but when he gets in front of goal, he's a bit like Joe Linton when he goes to pieces.
And he was born offside.
Salu's only got 6 months left on his contract. So, but again, he got in the Germany team. He did really well in Germany. He's just not done it for Chelsea. Feel a bit sorry for him in a way. I
watched them today. I mean, he's not going to get in that side anytime quick. So see Lukaku second half. Good grief.
I didn't know, but I've always called Lukaku a flat track bully, and that's what Villa are, unfortunately. And I love Villa.
He blew the hell out of Mings and Konza today. Oh,
did he?
Oh,
what was the final score? Was it 2-1? Was it
3-1?
3-1 in the end. Oh yeah, I am coming. By the way, I just didn't read your message. I was literally. Oh, what a day. Salu has 6 months left and he won't sign for Bayern because he wants too much wages, and we can obviously offer it potentially. Salu might be very slow, but he reads the game well.
You put pace around him that Botman has, and you got the perfect combination. You got the rough house centre half in Sully, and you got the culture of Botman next to him, who also can do the rough work if needed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Our company.
Let's have a little look ahead to the Man United game before we go, because we haven't got time to do a full show on it, unfortunately, due to. And you're going to be doing a watch along with Jade. I won't be involved in that because I will be at a wedding, so hopefully I'll be watching.
Drunk again?
I haven't been drunk yet. I've been a good boy. I've got to be as well because I don't know when the baby's coming.
No, this is silly.
I've got to be very careful. Wouldn't mind a new left back. Yeah, I agree with that. But Man United play a very strange formation, don't they? 4-2-2-2.
Yes, it's having it come in.
Yeah, it's got them a bit more solid. But other than that, I thought they were terrible against Man City. Against Norwich City, sorry. They were lucky to get away with a 1-0 win. Yeah. I'm not afraid of Man United. I don't know why. I'm really not. I'm going into this. This was the one game I thought we could potentially do something. Now, is 16 days off giving Man United a better chance of winning this game, or has it hindered them because they haven't had a match game for so long, and it'll be like, oh God, we've got to play a game?
Who knows? It's how it falls in the day, I guess. Some players like to keep playing, some players like the rest. Who knows? We won't know until tomorrow. But I'm with you. I think of the 3 games that we've had lately, I think this is the one that we could actually get something out of. But we've got to pressurise them. We've got to be in their faces for 90 minutes. And the most important thing is not give the ball away. Because if we keep the ball, then we're not running around so much, and then the fitness levels look better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got to play a bit of a part. 16 days is a long time not to play a game and then just throw yourself into a big game, an 8 p.m. kickoff on a Monday night at St James's Park, which isn't the easiest pitch to play on at times with the slope. And there is a slope because I played on it. And trust me, I was knackered running up it. Felt like I was running up a hill. It's built like a tank, good. So we know Jonathan David is leaving in the summer. So as far as his agent's concerned, so that's a hint. We're in for him because we need to push forward. That meant to say Arsenal because they just a name now. Arsenal are looking very good. Won again today. They're in the top 4 now. Yes, we should go for Diani at Everton. I'd take him as a left back. Trippier can play left back. He can. Man U definitely beatable, but if their Flair players turn up, then it's all over for us. It depends who we play at the back. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? J7 to show CR7 what his skill is. Give him a good early kicking. Barry Billy, do you think they've been trying to get in players since before that bought us, or is it just a big free-for-all? I think they would have had a list of names already. I don't think that that's stupid. And Jan comes up with a good one. Obviously, Kaboli was someone we were in for ages ago. He's a good centre-back as well, but I don't think he'll leave Italy. Jonathan Davis currently in League One, top scorer. I'll definitely take him, but he won't come in January. Again, very quickly, guys, if you're watching for the first time and you're enjoying what you're seeing and listening to, please hit that subscribe button. It'll help us grow the channel. We're over 1.5k now, which is just mind-blowing. Never thought we'd get anywhere near that. Memberships are 99p a month, which goes back to you guys and prizes. And the donate button in the bottom right-hand corner, if you'd like to donate to the channel, Super Chat, it's what it's called, and that helps to pay towards the running of the channel. Can't wait to see Joe Linton flatten Pogba and Fernandes. I don't think Pogba's getting back in that team, is he?
Pogba's not playing anyway. He's injured, isn't he? But
is he injured now?
We've got the same old concerns that we have every week when we haven't got a fit left back. Is it Sancho or Greenwood or whoever plays on that side? Are they going to have a free win at Richie? If Fraser plays, I don't think they will. But if ASM plays, then they might have a free win at Richie, and I can't spell disaster for us because they're getting crosses into the likes of Ronaldo in the middle. It's going to be hard to keep a clean sheet against them, isn't it?
Definitely. The left back is an issue, massive issue, isn't it? I mean, I like Richie. I don't want to slag him off because he always gives 110%.
It's not his fault, obviously.
Yeah, he hasn't got the legs. And I mean, if I was Man United, I'd be playing Morrison because I think he's fantastic. He's always done well against us as well. He scored a couple. He scored a thunderbolt one year at Old Trafford, didn't he? Where it went in off the bar. Greenwood. He's who I would play. I would love to have us to sign him on loan. As soon as I saw him come on for Man United and I watched him, I was just like, if he's not getting a game, poach him somehow, get him on loan. That was never going to happen under Ashley, was it? Which you're going to have to start, unfortunately. It shows a lack of depth. Exactly.
It shows lack of depth and it shows lack of investment from the previous.
Exactly. But it also shows us turning our nose up at players who are better than what we've got as well. It's like, well, we don't have the players to threaten. We've got to play people like Richie. How long before Haaland has pushed up his agent for us for $1 million a week contract? I don't think Haaland's ever going to come near us, to be honest with you. They've already mapped out his career, apparently, of where he's going to go next and then what he's going to do and then where he's going to go after that. I don't think he'll come to us. Lingard will score against us. That's if Lingard plays. Again, he's another player who's not getting a game and another player I would like to see us sign, but I don't think it's going to happen. 30-plus-year-old winger playing left back. Yeah, exactly. It's not good, Matthew. And we aren't going to sign Haaland. Not in a long time.
You might actually literally be better playing Fraser there and playing this ASM in front of him.
Yeah. Got the legs. It's just not a left back.
No, he's not. But I think probably
he was Richie.
Better than Richie.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I just don't like the sound of it. Do you? I just don't like the sound of any of it.
No, I don't like the sound of any of the options. Unless, I know Dummett's training again. Will they throw him straight in? I don't know. I doubt it.
No, but he's not fit enough.
Lewis is far away, I think.
Yeah. Someone said the Southampton game for Dummett. True, Billy, but I like Fraser on the wing as well. Yeah, I mean, I felt sorry for him because obviously he came off after 10 minutes because of the red card, and then he was slightly injured for the next game, wasn't he? And Miggy came in and Miggy did well. I just feel a bit sorry for him. Lingard is a journeyman if he stays at Man United, scared to fail.
Now, journeyman means the opposite to that, mate.
Yeah, the journeyman means that he goes around clubs constantly.
What Lingard is, he's playing for that. The £10 million transfer fee that Man United want for him, he will pocket that at the end of the season before anything starts because he's out of contract.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The new club that he goes to will give that to him as a transfer fee, and he'll get that.
Evening, Chippers, you're a bit late, pal. There we are. It's kind of confirmed what we said. He's not a journeyman. Journeyman goes to club after club after club. Hi, Julie.
Julie,
Christmas was very good, Julie. Thank you very much for asking. Chippers is getting a thumbs up. Don't know why he's late. Probably had his thumb up his arse.
Could be on Twitter.
Probably. Oh, God, Chippers, man. He's like a dog on heat sometimes, you, mate. You really are. let's round the show up, and everyone in chat before me and Billy say it, give us your predictions for tomorrow night, 8 p.m. kickoff. While we're waiting for them to come in, I'll pop it up one more time. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. You're enjoying what you watched. It's been a great hour and a half talking about transfers. 7 players in an hour and a half. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in January when we're on Paul's channel? How long till that front three is replaced? Because to move up the table, that front line will have to be pushed for talent front line. So Man United, I'm not sure. Billy, are we signing John King?
Juan
King. Oh, God. Chippers, man. 3-2 to us. 2-0 Man U. What? I'm a bit disappointed in that, Chippers. Paul's going for a 1-1 draw. 1-4. I want to draw, but we are weak at the back. Yeah, but Man United aren't great either. Sorry I'm late. Been watching Paul's channel. It's fine, Gary. Totally understand. What are we going to go for then, Billy?
Well, let's tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be 0-0. That's exactly. There's no way on God's earth there's going to be no goals this game.
When was the last time there was a 0-0
game? It's going to be hopefully a full St James's Park will win us onto a famous victory, and I'll say we'll beat them by the odd goal in 5-3-2.
Love it. I think the last 0-0 was at Old Trafford, and that was when Rob Lee got brought down and he was going through one goal.
Oh, Solskjaer did it, yeah.
I think that was the last 0-0. Off the top of my head, I mean, I could be wrong if someone wants to Google it and let us know, but I think that was the last 0-0 between the clubs. And you are right. It's going to be very, very difficult. I'm going to go 2-1.
2.
Newcastle. Or 2-2.
Cool, I prefer the first one.
Yeah, I prefer the first one. 2-1. Yeah. I'm going 2-1. We're very talented teams. Yeah. Go on, Julie. 2-1 to the 2. That's what I like to see. A little bit of optimism. We need that. But yes, please tune in tomorrow night from 7:30. You're going live, is that right?
Yeah, 8 o'clock kick-off. So 7:30 we'll bring you the teams. Obviously, you probably already know them, but we'll go through the teams. Me and Jade kind of say how we think the game's going to go. And then we shall watch the game. Totally unadulterated bias towards the team, and very clear chance of profanity and swearing.
I love it. And I'll be at a wedding, so that's going to be fun. Chipper says last one was 2003-4 when Shearer got denied a clear penalty. I can't remember it. I really can't remember that one. I don't know why.
I can remember the Shearer penalty issue. Yeah, that was
that at St James's or Old Trafford?
No, it was Old Trafford, wasn't it?
Yeah, it has to be, doesn't it? Penalty not being given. Yeah, I can't remember it. I don't know why. I just can't remember.
I think the Rob Lee one was Old Trafford as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. But obviously that was a red card and he was off, but it was in the last minute, wasn't it? So then we didn't score from the free kick, which was a shame. I can't remember the Shearer one.
They all clapped him off, Solskjaer, as he got sent off, didn't they? And
they did, yeah.
Batted on the back by Ferguson. And...
Yeah, Rob Lee would have buried that as well. I was absolutely devastated. So yeah, please join us tomorrow from 7:30 for the watch along. There's no Sweet Spot Monday night. That is back on Wednesday, I believe. We've got a very special one. I don't know if he's announced it on Twitter yet, but we won't say it on here because we'll leave
indirectly,
it for Bill to announce. Oh, has he? But we have a major winner coming on the channel to discuss all things golf. So please tune into that on Wednesday.
So it's the man and his wife and Bill Donald will be doing that. That's just them three.
We've got time for it yet. What time is it? Because the Horseman is going to be on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock as well.
Well, he's going to do it. Yeah. He's going to have to find a time then, isn't he?
Yeah, we're going to have to find out what time it is and we'll sort it out. Gary, I'll be 11 versus 12 players, Man United with the referee on their side, yeah. Paul Durkin come out after the game at Old Trafford. Oh, God. Can't wait to see us get a Stonewall penalty denied tomorrow. It always seems to happen. TC chaps. Thank you. So, yeah, we'll work out what's happening on Wednesday night between the golf because the Four Horsemen should hopefully be back on Wednesday night. for a special episode because obviously it can't be played on a Monday because of the game. And there's something happening Tuesday night, but I can't remember what it is. I can't remember. Maybe we'll get the Horseman on Tuesday night instead.
It's
normally we're
Tuesday.
We might be able to move that because we normally do the Premier League roundup, but we'll probably have to skip that because the festive period is exactly, hardly any games, and the festive period's just been a bit of a nightmare, hasn't it? But again, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Please hit that subscribe button if you have enjoyed it and you're new to the channel. And we'll announce everything on Twitter once we've worked it all out because it's getting a little bit messy, as it always does at this time of year. But I hope we've all had a great Christmas. How are the lads tomorrow night? I'm going to go and get very drunk tomorrow at a wedding. Ruin my speech because I haven't written anything yet because I didn't think I was going, and be a blubbering mess. So it's going to be fun. So good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.